guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are good. It's been such a long time, guys. I tried shooting this video that I'm doing today so many times. The first time I did shoot it, and when I looked at the video, I was like, I don't like how this video looks like, and I wasn't okay. The thing with YouTube videos is when you're not okay, people can actually see that you're not fine. So, and then I was like, no, let me just take a break. I'll shoot another one the following week. Yesterday I did shoot a video. It was crazy. It was perfect, it was good, but then I was trying to create memory in my camera, and I kind of deleted the video that I did shoot. My memory got full, and then I had to delete some videos, and then I accidentally deleted the video that I had shot yesterday. So it was just chaos. So I guess that just shows how in life we'll fail and fail and fail, but it's also your responsibility to actually make sure that wapahama wherever you are. I was very, very depressed yesterday. I even cried so much. I was like, why me, you know? But then I'm back again today and I'm shooting a video. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing. We're on 800 subscribers. I'm super excited. We need to go to like 1K. We're leading the road to 1K. So anyway, guys, today I'm talking about motivation, which is a continuation of the previous video. As you remember, we actually talked about the hygiene factors, which are the factors that encourage one to be motivated at work. The presence at work, it's not really felt, you know, but once they are absent from work, then one gets really demotivated easily. So today we're going to be talking about the motivators, but we're actually going to talk about this motivators in the sense of what we're going through today, the impact of the COVID-19 on motivation. Guys, we are all aware that the COVID-19 pandemic has really affected our lives socially, health-wise, wellness, financially, and this is going to be such chaos for some people, you know, especially because there's been some downsizing in some companies, people getting salaries at 50% rates, and people are just like, you know what, it's fine, because there's no way I can get a job right now, because even vacancies, they're very limited. Guys, let me just take you back to what motivation is. Motivation is the willingness, genuine willingness of one to do a certain task. You don't have to be forced to do something. There's actually psychological forces that actually compel you to do a certain task. So that's what motivation is. So the impact of COVID-19 on our motivation, especially with regard to the employee and employer relation in organizations, we're going to be impacted socially. Yes, we're going to be impacted socially because obviously there are rules and regulations that we have to be 1 meter apart from one another. And guys, remember, some people we get motivated through talking, through socializing with our colleagues, our employees during lunch. We want to talk, and especially for those people that work in the mines where you have to be dining, or you actually meet some of your friends during lunch, because we all work at different departments, so we only meet during lunch. And when you're supposed to sit down with your friend and you're not okay, you want to vent about what is going on in your department or whatever, so you're not able to really speak, you know, because sometimes you want like your privacy. Being 1 meter away from one another is just kind of indirectly creates that social, of course it creates the social distancing. And what I see with that social distancing and being 1 meter away from one another is it's going to create people being in a relationship with their phones more than anything, so which is something that is creating so much problems in families and relationships. Phones are taking priorities in our lives, and we forget, or no, we actually need people in our lives to be able to function. We don't necessarily need Instagram to function, you don't necessarily need YouTube to function, you need people that give you words that soothe you, and understand that sometimes you're not the only person going through a certain thing. So we need one another. So that's what it's going to create. Again, it's going to create anxiety, anxiety in the sense that that this virus, it actually stays on surfaces, on door handles. You are there, and your mentality has taken a different direction. All you want is for you to leave your work being safe, go back to your children being safe. And anxiety cripples very easily in when we have such knowledge about the virus. So you're not sure who has the virus or who doesn't have the virus, especially if the organization that you're working for, they haven't done the tests. That is going to be a problem. So I think many organizations are going to be forced to take the tests so that we know how many people have been infected by the virus. Because the minute you're still not sure what is going on, anxiety still cripples, and that is going to actually affect your motivation, because you're actually working in fear. You're working under the impression that you're not safe. So why I'm saying it's going to affect us socially is because in some organizations there will be team buildings, there will be Fridays where people go out for like beer or lunch. I think most organizations are not going to do team buildings. A lot of people are going to cut those costs in their budgets, because now we need to be spending on personal protective equipment, the masks, which some organizations never really had to spend on those. And again, even if there were organizations that were spending on those, but now there's increased amounts that have to be spent on those personal protective equipment. So our motivation will be really affected, in the sense that we won't be able to socialize as people. All we'll be doing is work home. And guys, we need one another. We need to understand one another as colleagues from a personal level, not from a close sphere of work related things, because some people are different. I may look like an exciting person and whatever, and then when I get to my work, I'm just focused. I don't need anything. This is why some people be like, sometimes when some people, when they get into that work mode, we become different. Not because we are mean, you just need to be assertive, and you need to be firm with your work. That's your area of responsibility. And the most people that are going to be affected is the extroverts. The extroverts really depend on other people for them to be really motivated. So that the people that will be affected by the COVID-19 pandemic socially first. So yeah. Another area that we need to understand when it comes to motivation, people get really motivated when their values and needs are met. When the organization meets you halfway when it comes to your needs, when you feel like, okay, I'm working for this company and I travel so many kilometers to go to work, so I feel like I need to be protected in case of an accident, in case of anything. I should be covered. So someone may feel like, medical aid is very important to me and I value it so much. And we need to understand that as we grow, like my values and needs when I was 23 years old, when I was starting my work at 23 years old, they're now different as compared to now. I didn't think I needed like a medical aid then. I was just all about money and luxurious stuff, But now I need a medical aid. It's a need actually for my family, so that I'm protected. And I would really choose a medical aid over a car allowance, but some people even still at my age, they will choose a car allowance over a medical aid. But right now, those things, they might not even be there, and some people get motivated by those. And if you don't understand what is happening, what is transpiring, that the COVID-19 pandemic has actually affected the organization financially, you might find yourself being deprived, being distressed, because you don't understand that we need to sacrifice, we need to let go of other benefits that we used to get at our organizations. There are people that have actually let go of those benefits so that some people can actually get a job, can actually still retain that job within an organization. People have, like managers, they have let go their car allowances, they've let go their shares that they actually get. Like, there are different benefits, so that us, like the subordinates, the people that are at the downgrade, we actually still have a job. So we need to be thankful. So if you do understand that concept, you'll be very motivated to actually work at your where you are, knowing that, you know what, someone had to give up their benefits for me to be working here, or the organization had to go through so much spending or extra spending for me to still be here. So when you have an understanding of such, you'll be motivated, even though you know that your benefits, you won't be getting enough benefits, even though you won't be getting enough salary, because some people are still not getting enough salary. People are like, as long as I still get I still have food to put on the table, I'm fine, I'm good, I don't need the car allowance, I don't need those benefits that the company used to give them. Another thing that actually impacts on our motivation is recognition. Recognition is very important, guys. It goes a long way. And especially when it's genuine, and it should be acknowledged. When it's genuine, it's easy for us to acknowledge it, and it can be from peer to peer, it can be from supervisor to subordinate. It goes a long way, and we need to understand that saying thank you to someone, it doesn't have to go with negative connotation. Even your facial expression needs to say something. You know, when you say thank you so much, even for coming to work, people need to thank you. It just says, oh my God, they actually see, okay, I'm coming to work, and it's an effort for you to wake up in the morning. I know we get paid to go to work, but at the same time, being able to get to work on time, it takes so much effort, it takes so much positivity, it takes energy. And if you have a manager or a supervisor that actually thanks you for so many things that you feel like, it's my job, trust me, you need to appreciate those people. So we need to be appreciated for the little things. But what we need to understand now is things are going to turn around. The COVID-19 pandemic, our work that we used to do, it's now going to be increased. Like, the number of tasks that you're now going to do, they're now going to be increased. Remember, there's been downsizing in other organizations, so we're going to be given different roles. Like, let's say someone who's been downsized as a receptionist. So when you're someone who is in IT and going to be given some other roles that the receptionist used to do, you know, someone might be like, nah, this is not my thing, I don't like this, and then they might get demotivated. But for someone who understands that, you know, this pandemic has actually affected all of us, and we need to put all the work in, then I understand. I mean, I can file, I can answer phone calls during. Sometimes it might happen that organizations will say, okay, at 10 o'clock, it's the IT department that will be responsible for the reception, you know, stuff like that. So things are going to change all over again. But we need to be recognized. We need to understand that recognition might be affected in the sense that managers are now stressed. They want to push targets. They want to push money. We have limited time. Some people, we don't even have leave days, you know. So the only thing that we have now is for people to actually acknowledge us. But because managers will be stressed and having all those things to deal with, we might find ourselves not being recognized as much as we used to be recognized. At least in Diamond Mine, they used to or they still do campaigns where they recognize people during the safety meetings. They'll recognize employees. Sometimes we need to understand that we need to be focused as managers, that we don't forget that we can also be affected. We can forget to actually recognize our employees for the good work that they have done. So we need to be really cognizant of that, so that the COVID-19 pandemic does not impact on us on doing the good work that we used to do of recognizing people. Another thing which is part of the motivators is promotions. Guys, promotions are very, very important. No one wants to be stuck in the same position forever. No, when the moment you feel like, I am stuck in this position, I've been in this position, I don't feel growth, I want to be promoted, you get demotivated. But then sometimes we want promotion not understanding what the level you're going into requires. I think it's one thing that I actually learned from this other lady that I follow, who's an industrial psychologist, and she was like, before you say you want to be promoted, you need to understand what are the roles and responsibilities of that person, or of that designation that you want to be promoted to, because promotion goes a long way. Your manager needs to be comfortable that, okay, Ntati is good in that position even in my absence. Promotions are good, guys. Promotions, obviously they're good. They motivate people because there's increased benefits, there's increased salary, and immediately when you have increase in salary, it's exciting. I mean, you now can afford like your Porsche. If you earn like a lot of money, you now afford something that you've always dreamed to have. You can now afford to have a bigger house. Obviously those are motivating things, and you feel like, oh my god, I'm actually growing. I can even take my children to better schools, better private schools. So yeah, that is really motivating. And the minute you are motivated in terms of promotions, you now even assume greater responsibility. You even get committed. You become committed to your company. You feel like you owe that company. That's how promotions actually impact on your motivation. And again, once you are motivated, and also when the organization actually promotes a lot of people in the organization, that creates a positive attitude within the organization, and it actually creates a good positive culture, and other employees will stay motivated even if they've not been promoted, but they still have hope, and they see that the organization is trying. And when organizations do actually promote people, it retains that people, even good talented people, they stay. You will see like at Dutoba mine, that's what they used to do. Like, those people got promoted so much, and you could see that those people are excited. They love their job, even if someone, especially especially with people that I know, they have been at certain mines, when they compare it with Dutoba, and they're like, no, I'm great, I'm good. There's like employee recognition. We all want to be seen for our efforts, guys, and we want to be uplifted. So when there are no promotions, obviously there will be like negative attitudes, and negative attitudes can easily spread, guys. They're very infectious. So even someone who's new in a job, and they come in and they find that there's negative culture, people are not happy, those people are likely to be affected by that negative attitude, and then we don't want to work. You just feel like, these people, they don't see my worth. When you feel like people don't see your worth, you end up belittling yourself. You end up telling yourself negative things, and when you don't believe in yourself, you are screwed. Like, you are literally screwed. So with the COVID-19 pandemic, guys, we need to understand that budgets are now tight. There's budgets have now been decreased. Recruiting, we need to understand that recruiting takes it's money. For an advert to actually come out, there is money spent, there's time spent, there's no time. They'll be pushing targets, they'll be having limited time, so we are likely to be affected. Our motivation is likely to be affected because there won't be any promotions, or there will be minimal promotions. If one gets promoted now during the COVID-19 pandemic, they really need to be thankful, and they need to acknowledge and thank God that God, amongst other people, millions and billions of people, you chose me to climb a ladder when other people actually were downsized from the organization. Thank you, So yeah, there will be limited promotions being done. Another thing that actually motivates us at work is advancement and growth. When there's growth in your work, when you're being developed at work, it's amazing. Like when you feel like I'm learning something from my organization, and I'm not the same person as when I got here at first, like I now have more knowledge. That actually motivates people, and they will keep on working for the organization religiously so. But we need to understand that with the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, this is going to affect us, because yes, there will be timelines, trainings, and taking people for trainings takes time. Sometimes you're the only person doing a certain job, and you go out, especially trainings that are external. Those ones, I'm sure they will be very limited unless it's like a specialized job. Those will be cut down. We might find ourselves being trained internally. Even if we're trained internally, we need to be very thankful, because some people are going to be pushed so hard. You might have to work overtime, and when you work overtime and you're exhausted, you're not able to actually deliver effectively, and your motivation gets this small, But for some people that I actually understand, I was talking to my aunt, and I was like, when do you think you're going home back to Lesotho? And she's like, COVID-19, I don't even think there's also Christmas this year. Like, I'll be working so much. So probably she understands. I think she understands that. But I'm hoping she won't be tired, because sometimes when you're really tired, you don't get motivated to do your work. You need to rest. And some people, they have actually sacrificed their leave days. They're not going to have leave days. They're going to have limited leave days. Some people are not even going to have family responsibility leave days. Like, it's going to be chaos. So this COVID-19 pandemic is going to affect us, and you need to be ready for it. The minute you're not ready, and maybe in our next video we'll be talking about how organizations can actually make their employees to be ready in the organization, because when employees are not ready, then it's going to be a problem. There's going to be resistance to change. People are not going to understand that there's now this pandemic, and so they need to create awareness as much as possible. They need to make people aware that if we do not work, if we do not deliver on time, if we do not give our best abilities, then there's going to be a problem. We're going to lose jobs. When you lose a job, your family is going to suffer. You need to go to a point of why. We need to ask ourselves 5 why we need to be working safe. Another thing that actually affects our motivation, it's the work itself. The job that you work for, it needs to relate with you. Also, you need to relate with your job. This reminds me of the Holland's theory. Holland's emphasizes very much about personality of our personalities, how important they are when it comes to work. I mean, if you're a receptionist and you know that you're not good with people, you're going to be very demotivated in that area of your work. If you know that you are a mechanical engineer, but you don't like fixing stuff, but you like being in the hills, you're going to get very demotivated in your work. So personality and also passion, they play a huge role in us being motivated in our work. So what I'm seeing with the COVID-19 pandemic is some people, because the structure, we need to fill the gaps where the structure, where people have been downsized, we need to fill gaps, and maybe the company is not going to hire other people, obviously, because people have been downsized. then we're going to be given different roles. Sometimes the role that you're going to be given is not going to coincide with your personality, and you're going to get demotivated right there and then. So organizations have to be ready for such challenges, and you also have to be ready for that. But when you have, like I'm saying, when you understand why things are being done, you might find yourself even enjoying that. Another thing is, we're going to expect so much excellence when it comes to health and safety in our organizations. We're going to want our masks, sanitizers, running water, soap. The minute there's no such things, you will get demotivated. Work conditions are very important, guys, when it comes to motivation of people. And we need to understand that the COVID-19 pandemic is actually saying to organizations, to employers, that you need to fix your conditions. So yeah, guys, someone may ask, why do I even need motivation? Yet I'm hired there to do your work. Like, it's not enough. I'm sure we are all aware that we've been recruited based on our abilities, our capabilities, our knowledge, but we're not recruited based on motivation, obviously. But those elements are not enough. We need motivation for us to be able to function well, for us to be able to deliver effectively and efficiently at work. So guys, that is all that I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any ideas how this COVID-19 pandemic is going to affect all of us, please let us know in the comments below, and let's interact with one another. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Yes, road to 1,000 subscribers. Ciao. Enjoy the rest of your week.